Behavioralistic approach. In 1960s, several geographers adopted this to the study of human geography. In specific to the procedures accountable for spatial behavior of human beings, this approach particularly draws attention on behavioralism as a key to understanding the spatial behavior of humans. This approach is entrenched in the world as perceived rather than in the real world. The concept of behavioral environment was evolved in 1920s and in 1930s by the Gestalt School of Psychology in Germany, in which the main emphasis was that the humans are not simply passive agents in their dealings with the world. The behavioral environment term was coined by William Keck in 1951 to present the programmatic difference between behavioral environment and the phenomenal environment. The behavioral approach portrays that the process of decision making is based on the assigning to a particular value to the geographic environment by human factor. This indicates that it is not the actual environment, but the observed environment on the basis of which decisions are taken. Therefore, intelligent humans' behavior and role it in creating variable spatial patterns necessary for realizing and illustrating the spatial patterns of human activities and habitations of the earth. Julian Wolpert presented various papers in which model of decision making behavior has contributed to heralding the arrival of a new behavioral movement in geography. As a result, a new branch of geography known as behavioral geography was begun after 1965. Cates, Juliet Wolpert, Peter Gall, Harvey were the important advocates to this approach. Humanistic approach. This approach in human geography, differentiated by the central and active part, it offers geography human awareness, human agency, human consciousness and human creativity. This approach treats human as an individual ceaselessly interacting with his milieu. This approach is rooted in anthropocentrism, which seeks its origin in philosophies of existentialism and phenology. In 1970s, the restoration of the humanism in geography due to a deep dissatisfaction with the more mechanistic models emerged during the revolution of spatial sciences. During this period, this approach has found its voters in Anne Batime and Wai-Fu Tuan. In 1980s, several humanistic approaches have been advocated. However, three most significant sources of inspiration include philosophies of idealism, phenomenology and existentialism. The idealism is a system of philosophy which regards as residing in or constituted by the mind. Harris and Leonard Golke advocated the philosophy of idealism as a counter to postulates of positivism. The philosophy of phenomenology was much popular among the human geographers than the idealism. Phenomenology term was first coined by Sewer in 1925. However, Ralph first attempted to introduce this approach in human geography. The term existentialism was coined by Jean-Paul Sartre. In mid-20th century, European philosophers such as Sartre, Albert Camus and Gabriel Marcel in France, Jaspers, Martin Buber in Germany, Ortega Gasset in Spain and myriad novelists and playwrights etc. have promoted a historical genre based on existential conditions. This approach recognizes that humans are responsible for its own action and are free to choose their development and actions. Thus, human geography is also influenced by existentialism. Welfare approach. This approach in human geography emerged in 1960s with the rise of radical geography. This approach emphasizes the need to recognize and describe the existence of welfare issues such as poverty, hunger, crime and other forms of discriminations and disadvantages. A revolution towards welfare approach in the contemporary human geography was indicated by D.M. Smith, and he focused on ongoing configurations of welfare concerning who gets what, where and how could be judged against alternatives. The who represents to the people of the region under a review, partitioned into group based on class, race or other relevant traits. The what discloses to the several goods enjoyed by people in commodities, farm, services, environmental quality, social relationships and so on. The where denotes the fact that standards of living diverge based on regions of inhabitants. The how reflects to the process whereby the examined dissimilarities occur. Welfare approach extended as a possible reaction to the positivism, quantitative revolution and model building under quantitative revolution that was thought to be unsatisfactorily concerned with the existing problems of societies. The development of approaches, both traditional and contemporary, to human geography is owed to changing aims of human geography. Since the focus of human geography is on the interrelationships between human and environment, the entire discussion turns around exploitation of resources that are important for survival of humans, and their concentration would be on greater gains than meager personal benefits.